just go to sleep. Like, I'm just gonna, like, that's truthfully what's happening right now. Mandela effect got debunked? Let's see this. Let's see the movie one, because
made a change to the
I've
Matrix?
most likely seen all these movies.
Hey guys, I'm Rebecca from Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 weirdest Mandela effects.
After being shot by an unknown assailant during a motorcade drive through downtown Dallas.
What is the Mandela effect? Well, you could also call it collective false memory, and we're looking at the most curious examples of it. Whether these are truly false memories or examples of alternate realities, these strange discrepancies have thrown us all for a loop. Alright, we begin by learning how it got the name Mandela effect. Number 10. Nelson Mandela died in prison. Let's start our list off with the memory that gives the Mandela effect its name. South African President Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison before being released in 1990. Or was he? A great number of people seem to remember Mandela dying in prison, and reading about this fact in textbooks or seeing it on the news. Even Mandela's actual death in 2013 from a respiratory infection did little to quell the uneasy feeling in people's minds that something about the world or their minds had been altered. As strange as that is, though,
Chad,
only the
I've seen the Shane Dawson video. Why are you spamming Shane Dawson? I fucking seen it! Actually, I think I saw it on stream! The fuck are you talking about?
Number 9. Beam Me Up, Scotty, the Star Trek franchise. This line is as synonymous with Star Trek as Live Long and Prosper. It's just a little weird that no one in the show or films ever actually says it.
Scotty, beam me up.
Most often attributed to Captain Kirk, this exact phrase is not spoken by anyone in the franchise.
What?
Although, in fairness, similar wordings like the Voyage Home Scotty Beam Me Up were used from time to time.
Well, beam me up, Slappy.
That's Scotty, sir.
Geek test.
Busted.
But why does this misattribution have the omnipresence of Q? Do people just like the sound of it? Did someone tamper with our timeline? Or did a transporter accident send some of us into a mirror universe? Number 8. Wasn't Osama bin Laden already dead? We all know how Osama bin Laden died. The 2011 night raid by Navy SEALs on his compound that ended the infamous terrorist's life is well known the world over, and was even the subject of feature films. And yet, there are a large number of people that recall Osama bin Laden being caught and even dying before 2011.
No.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
Some remember it being from kidney failure in a hospital, while others believe he died during the 9/11 attacks. Terrorists are known for spreading half-truths and rumors, so it's possible that people are remembering intentionally spread falsehoods. But the widespread nature of the belief is suspicious regardless. Number 7. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Your childhood might not look the same after this. As we all know good and well, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood always began with its titular host.
What are you about to say about Mr. Rogers?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
This much is true, but that well-known opening line, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood," not so much. Although it doesn't scan quite as well, it's actually a beautiful day in this neighborhood. But how did we all miss this when we've heard the song so many times in our youth?
It's one hell of a day in my neighborhood. A hell of a day for a neighbor.
It could be worse, we suppose. It's not like he was wearing leather jackets instead of cardigan sweaters this whole time. Number 6. Starring Sinbad, Shazam. Quick question. Who starred in the 90s movie about a genie?
I am Kazam!
Some of us correctly recall it being NBA star Shaquille O'Neal, who had a sporadic movie career throughout the 90s. However, others believe the star of the film in question was the comedian and actor Sinbad, who starred in a number of children's films during that same time period.
Racism! That's what Jesse Jackson was talking about.
What?
Others also believe this non-existent film starring Sinbad was called Shazam rather.
Who has ever thought that Kazam was starring Sinbad? Literally, no one's ever thought that. Twitter? What does this guy relevancy want, man? What, dude? What is it? Yeah, fuck this video. Like, that just pissed me off. That just pissed me off, that video. Oh, shit.
Time to deliver a pizza ball!
Welcome to Scare Theater, and today I'm going to be talking about the Berenstain Bears parallel universe theory, which was requested by Marcos Guerra. And here's the scary picture of the day, which was sent in by Jerry Scree. So anyways, here is the video. Look at this picture. Without looking it up, what was the name of this book, and how do you spell it? The actual name of the book is the Berenstain Bears, but you may have sworn that it was called...
What? First of all, I've already seen this shit about the Berenstain. There's no way it was with an A, bro. There's literally no way it was an A. There's no way that was an A, bro. Berenstain.
Called the Berenstain Bears with an EI as opposed to an
Yeah, this is the one, right?
AI. You're not crazy, and it's even possible that maybe your memory is not at fault. In fact, millions of people can distinctly remember these books and the TV show being named the Berenstain Bears, and end up...
You just got Mandela? Berenstain? The Berenstain Bears. The Berenstain Bears, the Berenstain Bears. The Berenstain.
Getting very confused when they're told that they're wrong. So why is it that so many people remember these books incorrectly? This entire topic has really freaked out a lot of people, and it even freaked me out at first as well, since I am one of the people who remember it as being the Berenstain Bears. Like I said before, there are millions of people that swear the book is named the Berenstain Bears and not the Berenstain Bears. When you look online, every official spelling of the name says Berenstain Bears on the Wikipedia page, the website, and the books on Amazon. This confusion only increases when they dig up their old Berenstain Bears book and find that it has always been named the Berenstain Bears.
What the fuck?
I even went to Goodwill today and I bought 3 of the books, and all of them said Berenstain, not Steen. There have been a lot of explanations as to why this may be happening, but one that's particularly popular is a theory that states we are living in a parallel universe. Apparently, in the universe we used to be in, the books were named the Berenstain Bears with an E, but at some point we ended up crossing into another universe where the book was named the Berenstain Bears with an A. I'm pretty sure this is not the case, but I'll get into my reasoning why later. There's actually a name for when you are positive that something had happened, when it actually never happened at all. It's called the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect happens much more often than you might think. Some people remember Hurricane Katrina happening in April instead of August, and some people think that the Columbine Massacre happened in 1996 instead of 1999, and some people even think that Martin Luther King Jr. was killed with a handgun at close range instead of with a rifle at long range. Another huge example...
Wait, I thought he was killed with a... I thought he was killed close range. Wait, what? Bro, I don't know why I have this memory of learning about this, and he was in his house and someone like broke in or something, and with like a pistol. I'm not trolling. I'm literally being serious.
That I really want to include, mainly because I'm one of the people that distinctly remember this one, and that a countless amount of people will claim that they thought the word dilemma was spelled with an N instead of an M. Up until I was like 11 or 12 years old, I honestly thought dilemma was spelled with an N, and I thought the N was silent. Okay, anyways, a lot of people think the Mandela effect is a result of entering into another universe, when there might be a more plausible explanation for this. If you haven't noticed, a lot of these details that people remember differently are extremely subtle, and some of them might even be the result of people's ignorance. For example, a lot of people could have sworn the United States had 51 or 52 states, when it actually only has 50. Ironically, most people who think this aren't even from the United States. The human memory isn't perfect, so it makes sense how people could make very small mistakes like these. Now, although the Berenstain Bears mistake is very subtle, you probably still aren't satisfied with the explanation I just gave, and I wasn't either. It's still weird how so many people remember the show being named the Berenstain Bears, and it seems impossible that so many people are just remembering it incorrectly. Some people have distinct memories of not knowing whether to call it the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstain Bears. Some people even say that their last name was Berenstain.
Dude, you know what? I think what's happening is it's not just a Mandela effect, but then it's like another thing where it's like, it's one of those things where a bunch of people think something, so then more and more people are like, oh no, that's what it was, and then it just builds and builds and builds, when in reality, you're just putting that thought into your head. Like, you don't know for sure. How are we supposed to remember what this book said when we were like 2 years old? Like, you know what I mean? So there's another effect going on simultaneously. I don't know what that is called. It's called something.
And they would get teased at school for having the same last name as the Berenstain Bears. But this can also be said the other way around. There are also a lot of people that clearly remember when they were kids about why everyone called it the Berenstain Bears when the cover clearly said Berenstain Bears. And some even have memories of making jokes about the name because of them having the word stain in it. So someone who strongly stands by the parallel universe theory might say that the people who remember it as Berenstain Bears were just originally from the A universe, whereas those of us who remember it as Berenstain Bears are from the B universe. It might also be possible that some of us just remember it as Berenstain because a name with...
Or some of you just remembered it wrong. Like what? Some of you just remembered it wrong. That's it. Some of you just remembered it a little wrong. There's no alternate universe.
With Stein or Steen in it is a lot more common than one with Stain in it. Or we might have seen the other two E's in the name and filled out the pattern ourselves by inserting an E where the A is. You also have to keep in mind that most, if not all, of the people who are remembering the name of the book incorrectly, they were very young when they read the book. And obviously when you're extremely young, then it's difficult to remember something, so it does make sense as to why they might misremember something. I still don't think the parallel universe theory is true, but I'll go on. Stan and Jan Berenstain, the creators of the books, are now dead, but their son, Mike Berenstain, is still alive. There is a blog in which the writer posted something about the whole Berenstain Bears parallel universe theory, and Mike Berenstain commented on it. This is exactly what he said. I normally don't comment on blogs about our family name. Bears are so unusual and imaginative that I thought it was only appropriate to add my thoughts. Berenstain, according to our family lore, was an attempt by an unknown immigration officer sometime in the late 1800s to reproduce phonetically a highly accented version of the traditional Jewish name Bernstein, as pronounced by my father's grandparents when they came to America from Ukraine. In that linguistic region, the name tended to come out something like Berenstain. Since that's how the name was originally documented, it has always been spelled that way by our family, and it has always been misread and mispronounced by nearly everyone. It has always been the Berenstain Bears. Your parallel reality theory is very resourceful, but unfortunately, by applying Occam's razor, we arrive at the explanation that most people have just misread the name. So for quite a while, their last name has been Berenstain, and of course, that is what the books were named too. But once again, someone might argue that this Mike Berenstain was originally from the A universe, so I have more to say. On Reddit, someone posted this picture, saying it was a picture of the Berenstain Bears book, which was proof that it was at one time named the Berenstain Bears. If you test the picture on photoforensics.com, you can see exactly where the picture was photoshopped, so obviously it's fake. Another person posted a picture of hard copy books where the title was still Berenstain Bears, but at the bottom it says the Berenstain Bears Book Club. This one is also photoshopped. Here's the original picture where everything says Berenstain. So my point here is that there is no physical evidence showing that the book was ever named the Berenstain Bears. Now, with what I have presented so far, I can still see how you might think that it's possible that we are actually in a different universe.
Just stop.
I thought that at this point as well, until I started to think a bit more logically about this. Yes, it's very odd that millions of people think that the Berenstain Bears were once named the Berenstain Bears, but this actually happens so much more often than you think. Millions of people also think that Sherlock Holmes says, "Elementary, my dear Watson," when he never said that at all. Millions of people also think that Captain Kirk says, "Beam me up, Scotty," when he never says that. Millions of people also think that in Star Wars, Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father," when in reality he says, "No, I am your father."
Yeah, bro, that Luke, I am your father thing, like, where did that come from? That many people think that, bro. Dude, look at these fucking gifted subs spamming Z's and shit. What the fuck? Yo, mods, you can time these dudes out, bro. Like, mods, like, where are my mods? These are literally all dudes who got gifted subs putting low sleeps. They've been doing this shit the whole stream. Jesus Christ. Alright.